I want Jawan to be remade in Hollywood.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is controversial. This is people will not get it, but let me
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you my side of the
Go
story.
ahead,
Like
go
let
ahead. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the Geek Life
I cannot hear
Podcast.
you. Hello?
That's a very bad way.
Shit,
Standing.
I was controlling it really well and it no way. I had it. Guys, before the video started, I was acting as if everything is fine. I was, being in that role. But I just couldn't control my laughter.
I was like that. Like it was solidly acted, well acted, like
Thank you.
acted like a Hollywood movie, I must say, which is our episode for today.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
in today's episode, we're going to talk about which Bollywood movie or Indian movie can make a great Hollywood remake. So, last week we did the opposite, and today I'm joined with Nona Prince. Unfortunately, Jay couldn't make it today. He's still alive, but he's having some power issues, technical issues, which is probably why this episode will be out a little bit late because all of us, not all of us, me and Jay kept facing technical issues. Nona was absolutely solid, no technical issues. He just wanted to watch the match.
Episode should be out today, right?
Yeah, it should be out today. It will be out today.
It's no
In the
way.
next 2 hours. It will be out.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. If you do enjoy content like this one, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And also do check us out on Instagram. We put reels out every week whenever I remember. Haven't put out in the last 2 weeks, but
There are some new ones coming, and if you missed our live session, which was really fun, definitely check it out.
Yes, yes.
The Geek Talk
Talk.
Podcast.
yes, this is the Geek
Not
Life.
to be confused with the Geek Life Podcast.
We
Very
might
different.
we might share the same playlist, but
We may have the same home, but two different rooms.
and Nona shows up in both.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of flexible in that way.
very flexible. But yeah, I mean that's it for the intro. So we'll just jump into the topic. So as I said earlier, we'll be talking about which Indian film could make a great Hollywood adaptation. That's what the topic is going to be today. A rap star. So I will just jump right into it. So Nona, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first and sort of feel the whole
I think we
thing?
should first talk about the criteria because it was hard because I literally there was only one film that just came in my mind and how I want it to be remade in Hollywood, and there have been previous films, Indian films, which have been remade and inspired,
Yes,
and Hollywood
yes.
made
So
those films.
it's a little bit of a gray area because when you check on Hollywood movies that have already been done from Bollywood, it's always a gray area. There are very few official remakes. Most of them they're inspired by this movie. But the one big
I
remake,
think we should not get into that
Yes.
because we have done that a lot. Oh, the 90s and 2000s. So let's not
but
go there.
the one standout movie I saw was The Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday.
A Common Man.
A Common Man that was
With
remade.
Ben
It was
Kingsley.
pretty successful in like whichever languages it was actually
Yeah.
remade to. So
Even in India, it got remade into other
many
languages.
languages, yeah. So I think that was a standout movie, obviously starring Anupam Kher, Nasrin Shah. So I think fantastic movie. So that was the one movie that was there right off the top for me, like a very good official remake. And now obviously we do have the movie Kill, which will be officially remade in Hollywood. So that's going to be really cool. I think we talked a little bit about it last week. I think Nola even watched the film, right? Kill.
Yeah.
How did you
It'll
like
be
it?
interesting to see how they do it. Like,
What are your
because
thoughts though on the movie?
It's
Kill?
not actually. It's very different from an Indian film though, because it's like pure action, like no time waste. We get into the plot and just drive through. It's like 1 hour 45 minutes, so there's no unnecessary movements, nothing. Just pure action film,
Right.
which is quite uncommon here.
Yeah, we don't really get that a lot. I mean, like maybe like the first Commando film with you, Jamal, was one where they.
I've only seen few videos of the action moments, but I have not seen the movie.
I think the first one, I know they
Yeah.
made many sequels, but the first one was a little bit more, I think, designated to
Parkour.
just. Yeah, I mean, and it was like mostly focused within a jungle and stuff like that. Like, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So the criteria which we're going to have today is we're going to look at stories which we feel can be adapted to maybe the American culture, or these are stories that you feel can be taken and sort of put into the American sort of US sort of landscape, and it can still be a great film or can even be a better film if you adapt it to that landscape. So that's kind of the criteria that we are going for.
Like RRR cannot be, because
No.
I think the specialty of it is that it's
Yes.
Indian,
Right.
it's in this DNA.
Yeah.
It cannot be translated, there. So
Yeah.
it only works as an Indian film.
It's
So there are many
completely
films
out.
like that
Yeah.
in a list, but it was hard to find, pop culture related films.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do have like social message heavy, and like one of the Malayalam films, one of my favorites, The Great Indian Kitchen. That is
Right.
a
Right.
film that should be remade in every language because the message is so good and the way it's told is really good.
Right.
So that would be a great, I think, remake in Hollywood, and Hollywood love something like this, women empowerment stories. So it'd be cool how they do it, because their their patriarchal world and everything is quite different, and
Very
you know
different.
like leaving a marriage like that kind of is very common there. So I don't know how that will translate, but yeah, that's something I would like go. But yeah, talking about like my biggest one, okay, let's go to the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
I want Jawan to be remade in Hollywood.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is controversial. This is people will not get it, but let me
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
you my side of the
Go
story.
ahead.
Like
Go
let
ahead.
me convince you.
I'm
Now, I
excited
think
to
the
hear.
only I just need to say one thing, one name of an actor, and you will be convinced.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Jawan is basically a story we have seen many times, especially in Tamil cinema. It's a story we have done many times with heroes.
Yes.
But what Jawan really stands for is it celebrates the hero who's in the film, which is Shah Rukh Khan,
Yes.
and it delivers so well. Like it shows you the coolest way the actor can be portrayed, and over that he plays two characters, a father and the son,
Mm-hmm.
and it is so fun and so amazing to see him in that larger than life character
Yes.
with a good enough story which supports it and social message and everything. And it's a hero at the end kind of breaking the fourth wall and giving a message. So it's very something we have seen many times in our films, but packaged so well, the action movements, the slow motion, everything. So it's like the high you get watching the film.
Yes.
Now,
Go
an
ahead.
actor in Hollywood that deserves this kind of treatment before he retires from acting, and it is
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
yes. Dude, Tom Cruise, deserves a film. Like I think Top Gun Maverick kind of does it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it is like it portrays him, and it kind of breaking the fourth wall that people like you are done, and it's like no, I'll fight till the end. What like that is kind of the kind of hero he is, action hero, doing
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
stunts himself and everything. But I think his legacy deserves a film like that which celebrates him. And I think even if Atlee does it, it's great. He goes to Hollywood and makes a film
Oh
with him,
my
and
God.
the
And Shah Rukh
packaging
Khan
of
does a
it.
cameo. Shah Rukh Khan does Sanjay Dutt's role.
So it could be, just a movie celebrating Tom Cruise. Now I don't know how much
Right.
he would be interested in it, and how well it can really translate into. I think all if Atlee does it for Hollywood with those sensibilities a bit, but also this. I wanted slow motion walk. I think he has his Mission Impossibles and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things he have done before, but I think that level of that the film
I
is
don't
the
think it
hero
will
and the
be
hero is the
slow
film,
motion walks. It will be more of runs. It'll be a lot of runs.
but in slow motion.
Yes.
And if someone's
Dude.
ringtone in the mobile in the scene, someone's ringtone, goes, phone rings, and it's a tune from Mission
Mission
Impossible.
Impossible.
So like, come on, I like that.
In my whole life, I never would have thought of an athlete directed Tom Cruise Hollywood movie. But now I kind of want to see it.
Subscribe to the channel, guys. This is the things we come up with on this channel.
And I don't think I have ever seen Tom Cruise do a double role. Like I can't think of any movie where he has done a double role. So that'll be interesting.
I'm sure he has done crazy stuff, but
The craziest role which I've seen Tom Cruise pull off is this in this movie called Tropic Thunder. he acts like a Hollywood producer, but he wears a fat suit and he wears like fat hands
Hmm.
and he goes completely bald. It's a comedic role. That's like the craziest I've seen Tom Cruise do.
He's kind of very much like a, like Kamal Hassan who loves to do all this.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I was just wondering if there's some Kamal Hassan film that he can like, which can be, done in
India,
Hollywood.
India, Indian, Indian too. We'll just skip Indian the first.
But I think Hollywood has a lot of vigilante films and all.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know how that works.
It won't really stand out. It'll be very
Yeah.
kind of like simple. But oh wow, Jawan, that's like what did you call it? In like, do you have a title? Like, will it be soldier or?
No, Soldier is like we have our own
Yeah,
epic classic Soldier. So
it'll feel
Hunk,
kind of general. Hunk.
Hunk, not Hunt, not to be confused with Hunt. Hunk.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, that was a solid pick. So I think I'll move on to mine. So mine, I actually had two picks. Okay, and both picks are not that. It's nothing like yours. It's nothing like so out of the
I have
ordinary.
more picks by the way, but continue.
Okay, so I'll just go with mine. The first one is actually a film that is like there's no news that we're hearing recently, but the last we heard is this is actually bought for remade in Hollywood. Like they already bought the
Okay.
rights, but nothing has come up yet, which is Drishyam, which is
It was recently announced.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was originally a Bollywood film. It was remade to many languages within India, and now they sort of bought the rights for the Hollywood release as well. So for me, I think Drishyam, the story is something which is very universal in a way. The just the sort of core story. Obviously, the when you adapt it, you'll have to do a lot of different things and stuff like that. But just the core story of a father trying to protect his family, I think that will resonate. And what I was thinking was that if you adapt it to like we all know about like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, what's going on in the current sort of space in United States. So if you can adapt it to us to the suffering that this family actually is a minority family, and that family sort of goes to
Something
something like
like
this.
this. What's that? Get Out.
Yes, yes, exactly. I was even going to say, like, if you get someone like Ryan Coogler to direct it, like,
Ryan
then
Coogler, dude. Jordan Peele.
yeah, okay, sorry, Jordan Peele. But in my mind, it was like Ryan Coogler to direct this one, like to direct this one
So I want
because
to add the race angle also there.
yeah, I think that could like it could be a more meaningful movie than what it was in India. I think you could have so many more quotations and notions and so much more commentary to the life to about how the sort of the demograph lives and everything if you do something like that. So that was like my
I think US
like
has like a lot of small towns where everyone knows
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've seen some of those, crime thriller shows.
Jack Ryan
You
season
know,
one.
yeah, but like I was talking more about Mayor of Easttown, which is like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
knows
yeah.
everyone there and everyone expect her to do this and so
Right, right.
yeah, it can be done there. And I think the theme of like how far you can go to save your own
Own
family,
family, yeah.
so I think it kind of works, but I don't know how the drama would work because Drishyam has a lot of drama.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about thrills,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we see him how he what he does with the phone and the acting. Oh, that day we went for this thing, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
repeating it again and again. So how
No,
will all that?
that's why I wanted a director like Ryan Coogler, who he sort of specializes in human emotion and human drama. It's not like if you like, let's just even keep the MCU out. Like, let's just keep Black Panther out. Even if you take a movie like Creed, like sure, the whole punching and everything that's very important, the first Creed, but a lot of the movie actually dives into just the human drama, just what Michael B. Jordan goes through and his relationship with Sylvester Stallone. They're sort of like helping each other out, and you sort of see both of their characters grow. So that's why I wanted an actor like Ryan Coogler to take on this material. I don't know how
But
much interested he would be, but yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the case, but if is the devotion of Suspect X, it's very similar to Drishyam,
Yeah.
and I think that is more easy for them to adapt than Drishyam. Because I
Right.
think recently a Hindi film came, right, which is a remake of that, not remake, and like adaptation of that, and it is very very cutthroat. It's very again a setting which is very remote location and how things work there. So it doesn't have all the drama Drishyam adds, and it still
Right.
works, but it's not. I think the thing is that you're rooting for him because he's a fourth fail character. He's just like it's like the underdog
Yeah.
fighting the whole. I think that's the factor which Drishyam adds. That this guy got
Yeah.
out of like he's a better, not better, but he's like came out of this with a mastermind plan which none of
Yeah.
us see coming. You know.
And I think we also have this feeling that we want him to get away with it. So because of that,
Yeah.
you have the tension and pressure because you're like, no, no, no,
He's
don't catch.
a good guy.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
good guy. And he's like, but he's willing to go any extent to save his
yeah.
family.
Right,
So
right.
you connect with that feeling. Very
But
interesting.
yeah, I think yeah, that's a solid pick. But yeah, I'll like sort of shift it back to you. You get one more pick now.
So while thinking only, when I said Jawan, Dabang is also a film that celebrates Salman.
Right,
So
right.
maybe if I don't know how that again, but that is I think too Indian.
Yeah.
The treatment of that film is what makes it interesting, which is very Indian. So I don't know how
True,
that
true,
works.
true.
But Krish is something they can do. Maybe like the Krish is basically not like superhero, but you take the film already a classic film made in Hollywood. Be it
Okay.
the what is that film, E.T. Be it E.T. or but they've actually done it with Karate Kid.
Yeah.
They turn it to a whole show. But yeah, take a classic film and use that to set up a superhero and create a superhero and a sequel which is very different than what you said. So that's something they can do. And but other than that, the one I written was PK. I
Oh.
think PK is a very it's again a very Indian thing that
Yeah.
in West they think alien and action and thrill and horror whatever, but PK uses that concept to delve into societal issues and how we look at life, which in a way is Forrest Gump is that for
Yeah. I was going to say
how it
that.
how it plays out. But I think an alien in today's time, and there's a court case, and how they can talk about the cancel culture or the wokeism or whatever's happening.
more
It's
more
so
topical things
yeah.
happening right
I
now.
think in today's time, if they do take that narrative and plays with it, and it will be quite bold if whoever makes that film.
Right,
But
right.
it'll be very interesting to use that concept, PK's concept that a alien has come and he's unable to understand what's happened to the society. When it actually
Yeah, yeah.
questions what we are doing in society, like, okay, this is too confusing. We are
I
actually
mean,
like,
they'll have to strip all the stuff which they'll have to totally adapt it to the American landscape, or it won't work
yeah.
because, like, I think PK religion plays a very big role, which I don't think that will really
I
work when
think
you're
there it
adapting
can
it.
like they have their own issues with
Yeah,
racism and the immigrant issues and what do you say Republicans and
yeah,
Democrats like they can use that and PK is there like I don't understand at the end you
yeah.
want humans right so I think that they can use that.
Which
That'll
do you
be
have an actor in mind though? I'm trying to think who could like really
hmm.
give
But yeah, it
that.
depends how they can make it CG also like they have that budget.
Yeah, but
But no,
I
then
hope they don't
casting an
make it
actor,
CG if they ever do this.
I would say go with Amir only if he's up for it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. He could actually because he's playing an alien anyway. So,
yeah, it could be like the same species with the ears
uh,
out and the same thing, and he landed in
yeah,
US instead of India.
right, right.
Maybe they have multiple who landed. So what will happen to a guy who landed in? It can be a spin-off,
Spin
instead of
off.
just a remake.
That kind of works.
That'd be cool.
That actually works. Yeah.
Call me Hollywood.
The one other pick which I had is very like it's a very different movie. It's actually this again a Malayalam film called Jana, and
Oh,
just for the courtroom drama. Like I know that that film is supposed to set up, not supposed to set up. It sets up a franchise and everything like that. But I'm not really bothered by that. But just the courtroom drama aspect, I would love for it to be adapted in just to put that across, and it
but
has to be a different thing.
have you seen the Trial of the Seven? The Trial of Chicago? No,
No, I've not seen that.
the Trial of the Chicago Seven. The Trial of the Chicago
I've
Seven.
heard of it, but I've not
It's
seen it.
it's based on the true story of
Okay.
an incident that people were protesting and then they were framed wrongfully, and then how the court proceeding is so unjust, and
Ah,
it's like it's done by the Aaron Sorkins, so it's like the
yeah, yeah.
dialogues and
Dialogue
everything is
would be
outstanding.
better.
So it's very much on that list where it's like Pink, the courtroom drama where
Right, right.
it's actually the things they're pointing out like you are shaken by it. So yeah.
No, I
Very
think
interesting.
see Janaganamana, like the main reason is just a courtroom drama, just to see that, and I kind of want to see like actors take on like, so the one, it's not even a nitpick. So in the Malayalam version, not Malayalam version, that's the only version, but in Janaganamana you had a superstar Prithviraj play the role of the lawyer, and when you see him play the role of the lawyer, you kind of know that okay, his side, even though he's sort of being like the antagonist here, you know that there will be some light in the end of this because he is playing it. So I hope that if they ever make a remake in Hollywood, wherever, like when they do cast these roles, they kind of switch it a little bit to the point where maybe the role of Prithviraj, who plays the defendant, like his role would be done by someone who typically plays villainous characters. So that would actually get, because the whole courtroom drama of Janaganamana, I feel like it's almost like a real life experiment that you go through in the theater, because in your mind you're sort of supporting one side, but then you realize that no, things sort of all topple down. So if
No,
you
but
get
the what that film does, right? Like for me, how I stand out is that it flips the narrative, which I'm, something excites me, that
yes, yes,
it
yes,
makes you follow in the first half, and we think he's the hero, and then we follow his narrative through his view or whatever screwed
yeah,
view, and then in the second half, when the film, they get in the courtroom drama, and the law is against the hero we have been following.
yeah,
So we don't like him, that he's going against him and he's wrong.
yeah,
And then how the courtroom drama suddenly, it
flips
flips
out
everything
again,
up, and you
yeah,
realize, oh, that guy was not even the hero. He was
yeah.
actually the villain.
So
So I think
like
that switch
that
is
switch
very
is,
interesting.
so like if you have someone like a William Dafoe, who he has that sort of villainous charm to him. So if he does that kind of role where you feel like okay, he is the villain, so what he's saying is wrong, and maybe on the other side, if you have someone like a Robert Downey Jr., who, or even someone who's very charismatic like a Hugh Jackman, who has like who has that sort of persona to them, where you're like, no way, he's wrong, he is absolutely right.
I don't know if I should say this, but maybe it's very sensitive thing in US. What started Black Lives Matter,
Right, yes.
right? That incident, you can use that incident where you see the first half, the guy actually who's against the police, who because of whom the guy died, and you support him, and then the second half is you flip the story that
The
everything
story.
was planted, or
Yeah.
like,
That
that
could
the whole
work.
point is that until you're proven guilty, you're innocent.
Yeah.
That's the statement the film actually applies to. And we feel, justice. Who
Yeah.
cares? Just do the justice. And then you realize, oh shit, I was wrong. That's what the film does to you.
The judgment of opinion, right? Like
Yeah.
just that. I think,
The
I mean,
public code.
it might be too sensitive to take that, but maybe they can inspired they
Yeah,
can take
because the
inspiration from that.
Janagana Man is also actually
Yeah.
takes
A lot
the
of
real incidents, and
inspirations.
which
Yeah.
kind of changes a bit of
Right.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, oh, both of my things are very social justice related.
Because I think the reason is that they are easy to translate in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah, yeah.
As I said, like Dabang, you cannot. I was thinking so many films, then I thought, okay, what makes it special is the Indianness, which
Yeah,
cannot be replicated there.
True.
So it's very hard to come up with narratives. But in a way, you can always let us know yours in the comments. But in a way,
Yes.
every film can be remade.
Yes.
But people think on anyone's mind, or they get just inspired about one moment or something
Yeah.
like that. But
Something
yeah,
can
we
trigger
just came up
everything.
with something, a full on remake, a fully
Yes.
thing you can adapt in Hollywood, which you'd like to see.
No, it's
But
good thing.
anything else pops up?
For me, it's this. But when you mentioned comments, good thing you mentioned that, because I had taken screenshots, but I forgot to read. Last week, we actually got a few comments on which sort of Bollywood movies, which Hollywood movies could sort of
Yeah.
make a good Bollywood adaptation. So Shelley Lee had told us Avatar, and she would love for Nag Ashwin to actually adapt it. So like it would be a very expensive venture, like much more expensive than Kalki.
Yeah, I think the point is that the story of Avatar is actually like kind of inspired from
Yeah,
real,
real,
incidents. But I think we in our country we have a lot of these kind of stories that real life stories can be told instead of creating a whole. I think that's what the point of Hollywood, right? They don't want to delve into the real thing
Yeah.
because no one will come to watch. Like how many people went to watch Scorsese's film,
Yeah.
which is 3 hours long about the killings and the what happened with the native Indians.
Right.
So no one went, but they went for Avatar because
Yeah.
it looks fancy, it looks amazing, but it's doing the same thing,
Yeah.
but in a epic and blockbuster way. That's the point, right? But yeah, and I think India, I don't know.
I We did get one more
See,
comment.
story wise, Avatar is it's
Yeah,
nothing
it's nothing
special.
much.
So
But I think what Shelly Lee says is a good valid point that, adapting it in like the Indian sort of style and Indian sort of adaptation, I think you can bring so much more. Like it'll be very different vision from James
yeah.
Cameron's, like from the visual perspective. So
See, James Cameron loved RRR. So
yeah, I think he
and
would
he
love
told
this.
Rajamouli, if you want to work in Hollywood, call me.
Yeah. And then we had one more comment, which by Abdul Jalil, 4467. He had told us that La La Land would be great, and I think again La La Land also like it goes with the same idea which I had for Fall Guy, where saying that adapting the sort of Bollywood behind the scenes landscape and making something new with that, because the landscape will be kind of different from what the Hollywood landscape is. So I think
Yeah.
it was funny because we had La La Land as the picture below for the episode, like, and
Yeah.
so like I thought, and none of us even thought of it. So, dude,
See,
yeah,
I'll be honest. When I saw La La Land, I was like, "What is so special about this? This is every Indian film." When later, but I realized, okay, it's a musical. The way the story
yeah,
flows as a musical and everything. It's very, technically very sound movie and the
right,
dance and everything. But yeah, story wise, only thing we don't have. I think one thing we need to take from Hollywood is that the way they show love and love stories and how life works in that sense, because our love stories are all like which is changing, I think now, which has been they meet the love and they have to fight for their love, and yeah, happy
yeah.
ending or bad
So,
ending in a case of Sairat.
and the always for me the unrealistic part would be that they just fall in love. That never happens.
Which I think is changing. It's quite changing with a lot of films where we don't directly see. Okay, they come. There's no like slow mo moment.
Yeah,
It takes time and they fall in love, and so it has been the portrayal of love has been changing.
true, true.
But yeah, I think it's every culture's way of they how they want to go about it.
Right, right.
But yeah,
But
let's
yeah, I
see.
think we had some very solid picks. We had some good comments. We had some picks that blew my mind, Jawan. So let us know in the comment section if you guys have anything more that can add to this list. And Nona, any parting thoughts before we wrap the episode for today?
Two comments on the last video, quite encouraging, guys. So leave more this time. So the next time we take up the comments, it'll be interesting to read through. And yeah, on to the cast. Sorry, the host of the show. You do the
The ending bits.
yeah.
So that's it for watching, you guys. If you guys again do enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, that's it.
I cannot hear you.
It's like so bad. The
Hello.
acting. That's how Hollywood dialogues work nowadays. It's always silent. That's it, guys. Keep geeking out.